If you're frustrated with having pain in your hip or lower back that hasn't been fully resolved, no matter how many things you have tried, I want you to know your body is not against you. In this video, I want to show you why the pain keeps coming back and what actually needs to be addressed for the relief to last. Hello and welcome. If you're new here, my name is Ira. I'm a movement coach and yoga teacher who helps people with persistent hip or lower back pain to find long lasting relief, move confidently again, and get back to the life they love. So let me show you what I mean, starting with the three reasons why pain keeps coming back. The first reason is about where the treatment is looking. Treating the area that hurts can absolutely be the right starting point. And for many people, it brings real relief. But when relief doesn't last, it might be worth asking, is the source of the pain actually where I feel it? Because the symptom and the cause can be two very different things. For example, someone may come to me with a lower back pain, but when we look at the whole body, we find that the hip is very tight and not moving very well. So the lower back has been compensating for a long time. The back is where the pain is, but the hip is where the pain comes from. Why this happens? This happens because the body does not work in isolation part. It works as a one whole connected system. And to understand why, let's look at the body layer by layer. At the very center, we have our bones, and wrap around it is our muscle. Inside the torso and inside the head, together with the muscles, we have organs. So there's a lot of things inside of our body, but in between them, in between the organ, in between the muscle fiber, and in between the muscle groups, we have connective tissues. And these connective tissues is also called fascia. So fascia runs through your entire body like an endless web. From the head to the toe, it transports nutrition, transmit forces between muscles so we can move. And it is also incredibly intelligent. It can hold physical tension. It can even hold emotional stress. And one more important quality, it is naturally sticky. So when we don't move enough, the fluid that keeps the fascia hydrated slows down and the stickiness builds up. So eventually it can form knots. Imagine the piece of clothing I'm wearing now is like the fascia just underneath our skin. And I'm going to lift this leg first so you see my range of motion before any tension forms. And now let me grab my clothes to form some sort of tension. And here, the tension is here. I'm going to lift the same leg so you see the difference. And you see the tension, even though it's somewhere else, it travels down to this leg and it's affecting the range of motion here as well. So fascia inside of our body works in a similar way. And that is why sometimes the symptom can show up in one place, whereas the cause can be somewhere else. When we start looking beyond where it hurts, the picture starts to become clearer. Think back on the treatment you have tried, and was anyone looking at how your whole body was connected and moving together? Or was the focus mostly on the area that hurts? Fascia is actually a topic I could go much deeper on. If that is something you would like me to cover in the future, go ahead and comment down below fascia to let me know. The second reason the pain keeps coming back is most treatment focus on the body alone. But pain is not just a physical experience, it is a full experience physically, emotionally, and mentally, all happening at the same time. Think about what is actually happening when you are in pain. The nerves are constantly gathering information from the body, the pressure, the temperature, movement, changes in the tissue, and sending all of that up to the brain. The brain processes it and asks, is this a threat? Do I need to protect this area? So if the answer is yes, the brain sends out pain signal to your awareness so that you stop, pay attention, and do something about it. Pain is the brain's alarm going off. It is not against you. It is the body's way of protecting you. You may have heard someone say to you, it's all in your head, as if you imagined it. I want to reassure you, your pain is real. It has always been real. Scientifically, pain is produced by the brain. not because it is imagined, but because it's simply how our nerve system works. And because the pain is produced by the brain, everything happening in the brain also influences how much pain we feel. A second layer of experience tends to come with it, our thoughts and emotions. Maybe you think, what if I make this worse? Or you feel frustrated, stressed. Those mental and emotional states send signals to what I call survival brain. Our brain carries a mechanism that has been built over thousands of years. When we live in the wild, we need to be ready at any moment to run away from danger or fight back. That mechanism is still within us today. So, when the brain receives signals like shallow breathing or fast heartbeat or chronic stress, it interprets them as a threat. And automatically, without you choosing it, it tenses the muscle to get the body ready to protect itself. This is why treating the body alone is sometimes not enough. If the thoughts and emotions around the pain and movement are not addressed, the nerve system stays on alert and the tension stays in the body. Addressing our thoughts and emotion while we move is just as important as addressing the physical body. One of the first thing I work with every client before we even talk about movement is breathing. When we breathe slow and fully, it sends a direct signal to the brain that we are not in danger. The body softens, and from that calmer place, we can start to work with what is happening in the mind as well. When the body, the mind, and the nerve system are aligned together, movements start to feel different. And that feeling of I feel better, I feel more at ease naturally draws us back. So think back on your own experience. When you were doing exercise or going through treatment, were you connected to what your body was actually feeling? Or were there anxious or fearful thoughts present? Like, am I doing this right? Or what if I hurt myself more? Finding the right approach is one piece. Staying consistent with it in daily life is another. The third reason is about consistency and fit. Not only does a person need to show up consistently to practice, they also need to carry forward what they learned into how they move throughout daily life because we spend most of our time outside of sessions. And if what we learn stay only inside the session, the result will not last. Consistency is rarely a problem of lacking efforts or motivation. In fact, we're born with abundance of both. Just watch any baby or young children, and you will see a body that never stops moving, full of natural energy and curiosity. As we grow up, responsibility takes over and the energy gets directed elsewhere. And with modern living, many of us have also lost the connection between movement and joy. So, if a plan does not fit into a person's actual life, if it feels like too much, too complicated, or too hard to squeeze into a busy day, it simply will not happen. This is not laziness. This is not the right fit. Finding what truly fits into your body and your life is what makes consistency possible. When the movement feels accessible, when the body starts to notice the differences before and after practice, and when the pain is no longer associated with moving, the body starts to associate movement with feeling good instead. And gradually, that new way of moving transfer beyond the session into how we move in daily life. Getting up from a chair with more ease, standing upright feels more effortless, picking something up from the floor without worrying, and moving throughout the day with more awareness. Once the body gets a taste of that, it becomes harder to not come back. Not because you have to, but because you want to. It has become a natural way of living. Now think back on a movement plan or exercise you were given. Did they support you to move better in daily life? Or did they feel like something separate? This kind of reflection is not about judging what you have tried. Every treatment and every health professionals, myself included, has something they're really good at, and also their limitations. What matters is getting clarity on what has been addressed in your body and what might still be waiting to looked at. Because when you can see a fuller picture, you start to find the missing piece, and that's where lasting change begins. Understanding why the pain keeps coming back is a big step, but without knowing what to actually look for in your body, it can still feel like searching in the dark. Keep an eye on my next video, where I will walk you through exactly what needs to be addressed to find the pattern that is keeping the pain coming back. And if you're at a point where you would like personalized support to work through this together, check out my services via the link down below in the description. I will see you in the next one.